G'day guys, Dan here. We've gone away for a few days and I thought I'd show you our Oztent RV5 and give my review on it. We've had it for probably nearly 3 years now, but with pandemics and everything, we've probably only used it as a family about 10 times or so. There's plenty of great reviews on the net going through setting them up, taking them down, sort of the basic features. What I'm going to do instead is talk about some of the pros and cons, how to get the most out of the tent, and who I think they're best suited to. All right, so starting at the front here, excuse me, Bubby, under the awning. So this is really the selling point of this tent. A lot of people would say that the setup and pack up speed is the selling point. I personally think that the way that half the tent is the enclosed part, but this also feels like you're in the tent even though you're outside. So this awning is absolutely great. We got the Drifta package, which gives you these poles, more heavy duty poles with an 8mm spigot on the top. And also they've got this footing which allows you to put a peg through the bottom. So they're really good, and then they come with the crab claw spreader poles as well to help spread it out. So you can get a really nice tension. If you just buy the tent alone, then you'll only get 2 poles, and that makes it so that the whole awning is barely standing height. Whereas if you have extra poles in the middle and these spreaders, you get this beautiful, open feeling to the whole thing. So that's why I think that Drifta package is really good. And if you don't do that, then at least get some extra poles so you can make the sides to the top peaked up like that into that A-frame. So yeah, that's really good. Like I said, this creates a really nice area for chilling out, and having an undercover area outside the tent just makes it really good, So I think this is a real selling point. The two main extra Oztent accessories we've got is the floor mat. So the floor mat to match the RV5 size. So basically it's the perfect size for the tent plus the outdoor area. We've had a few of these, including the one in the background over there from 4 Wheel Drive Super Center, and this is a really high quality one. And if we were looking at buying one of these again, even without an Oztent, we'd consider this, so it's really good. I can't imagine, especially here, how much dirt, even with a 2-year-old, there's a lot, trust me, already, but we'd be trekking in a whole lot more dirt into the tent if we didn't have that. So I really see this as an essential part. If you're getting this tent, I'd say get this at an absolute bare minimum. You stand about here. The other main accessory we've got is the Fly, or the Oztent RV Fly, and that's this this piece here, which has got 4 sides to it. So the top's a reflective silver color, and then these olive drab bits that come down. There's basically 3 reasons you'd put this on. One is to control the temperature inside the tent. So this reflects a lot of light during the day, like it's really bright, and more importantly though, this material creates an air gap between the tent and the Fly. So you've got to put the Fly on before you put your awning up, otherwise you'll get stuck. You'll have to take it down and do it, because there's a zip along the top there behind the awning, all the way across. And then you pull it down, and then with these 2 extra poles and a whole lot of guy ropes, you create that lifted material, so an air gap. Air's an excellent insulator. So if you want to have an afternoon nap, or just have a more controlled environment when you're getting in at night time, sort of moderating the temperature better, then the Fly's a good idea. The other benefit that I spoke of is reducing condensation. So having this really reduces condensation, if not eliminates it completely. So that's another reason to put it on. The third reason is just prolonging the life of the tent. So you can see up here, there's a whole lot of dust and dirt that's collected. It's easy to see because it's the silver color with the brown on it. I'll put a shot up on screen. So all that would be sitting on the canvas, getting in the fabric, and basically reducing the life of the tent. So you've spent $1,200 in Australia on a tent like this. You might as well look after it and put the Fly on. it can be a real hassle, right? Because once you've pulled the material over, you've got basically a spider web of guy ropes to put on. And it can be a bit of a hassle. So our rule of thumb is if we're staying one night, we don't put on the Fly, but if we're staying more than one night, then we'll definitely put on the Fly. You know, we've replaced a lot of four-wheel drive awnings. I say a lot of four-wheel drive awnings. We've replaced one four-wheel drive awning, I should say, because a bat pooped all over it when we were driving around Australia. We stopped, it was up near Litchfield, I think, and National Park in Northern Territory, and basically we stopped overnight and we woke up in the morning and there was just all this bat poop all over the awning. So that would just be a real shame if something like that happened to such an expensive tent. So this is an insurance policy. It helps with the temperature and it helps with condensation for the price of a bit of hassle. The other thing you need to consider is the big back window. It can be a real struggle if you want to adjust the window, because the window zips and rolls up from the outside. So you probably need to think about what you want to do with that window before you put the Fly up. Otherwise you might get stuck having to crawl underneath and try to do it. The one thing that doesn't come with the Fly is this crab spreader pole. So I bought another one of these. It's a SupaPeg pole, and that just helps spread the tension out, and it's really useful. So it's just a quality of life thing. The aluminium poles are light. I've already got a bag of them. Might as well carry another one for that Fly. One of the underrated features of this tent is that the guy ropes have their own little pocket concealed on the tent, attached to the tent. So we actually haven't set this up just because we're in pretty perfect weather, but that's a really, really cool feature that I haven't seen on many other tents. Once you've done the 30-second bit inside, you'll want to peg out the four corners, but once you've done the four corners, we don't even bother with this one here. So what's that, the 3/4 position coming to the back? Just ignore those. They don't seem to do much. So I wouldn't recommend doing those ones, but it's probably really important to get these two in. So it's a bit hard to see, but they basically pull out that back wall. So your whole back wall of the tent will be sagging on the inside, and these two at the back are really important to pull it out and open up so you get your full floor space. How's this place, eh? So we're at Walkerville Camping and Caravan Park Foreshore, Walkerville Foreshore in Vic. It's pretty hard to get this close to the water to camp in Victoria, so we're pretty lucky. I don't want to give you all the details because then we might never be able to book this spot again. But how nice is this? This is perfect. So we're back here again just after Chrissy for a week or so that'll be a lot of fun, and got some more videos planned then. So the only reason you'd ever have the awning packed up or zipped right down, so it zips all the way to the sides, creating another extra door. I'd only ever do that if it's basically like snowing or a monsoon or a thunderstorm or what else is there? Cyclone, etc. Other than that, I'd always have it out. So if it's always out, then it doesn't matter having these windows open because you're always going to be protected from the weather. No rain's going to get in there if the awning's up. This is the other main way you reduce condensation build up overnight in the tent. So by having these open all the time, or at least overnight, that's what helps let that hot air out and heavily reduces condensation. Bunk, come here. Second set of poles, although they're not the sort of heavy duty ones. Why didn't you step over it? Did it bite you, did it? Okay. You can also get the new version of this called the RV5 Plus, which has got a skylight. So if you've got the Fly on and that skylight, it won't work, but it seems like a pretty cool feature. I'm a bit skeptical because you're probably having more risk of water getting in if you've got the seams and the zip on the roof, but it sounds like a really cool idea. They also come with these poles included, so you get the 4 poles but no spreader poles, so you can at least create sort of more of this open space in the awning. They've also got tabs that around the tent, so you can connect Christmas lights and fairy lights and electrical cables and whatnot. It's also got pockets, a few more features inside, and I think it actually comes with the Fly as standard. So if we had the option again, I think we'd probably choose it, just because it comes with the Fly and it comes with these poles already, depending on the price if you add those things up. So if you're looking at getting one, if you're looking at getting the Fly, I'd probably go for that RV5 Plus. All right, follow me in. I haven't made any attempt to clean up, so sorry about that. One of the things that I don't like about the tent is that there's not many places to hook things, such as lights, fans, just general stuff. So what I came up with is just putting these Velcro loops in to create my own place to hang things. So this extrusion here at the top is really awkward to try and hook things over. And also, one thing I don't like about this frame might be really easy to set up and is really practical from that point of view, but it doesn't feel like this top bit can take much weight. So really you're kind of limited for hanging stuff or having kind of any vertical storage. And if you come in, have a look at the corners here, there's really no easy way to hook things up the top or do anything like that. The RV5 comes with 2 pockets on either side down here, so just stash sleeping bags and stuff, keys, wallet, whatever you want. But the RV5 Plus, I think, has got these hanging pockets for up the top here. So yeah, I think that's a good adjustment they've made for that RV5 Plus. With this frame, make sure you undo these Velcro tabs in the middle there before you pack it up. Otherwise you'll probably break something, it won't fold up properly. So that's one of the main things to keep an eye on when you're packing up. Ever since that little girl went missing in Western Australia, we've been putting an S-binder on the zips, so the 3 connecting zips, S-binding them in from the inside at night time. I think this is a really simple way, so if someone just wanted to try and sneakily open the tent up, you would hopefully hear something as they try to struggle, why the heck isn't the zip opening? So very cheap security measure, which might potentially save someone. So we do that. Oh, I should show you this too. Anyone with a tent must have dustpan and brush, especially with a 2.5-year-old. All right, come out. A couple more things I forgot to say when packing it up. You can close up all the other windows, but make sure you roll up the awning before you go to pack it away. It'll just make folding it up and putting it in the bag much easier. And the other thing is, it's not a Mamma Mia disco, so they're labelled A, B, or BA, the legs A and B. So you want to remember your old neighbour Barb, BAAB, rather than your disco ABBA, ABBA, because you want to do B first when you take it out of the bag, and then A first when you put it back into the bag. So from start to finish, Barb. It's easier setting up with 2 people, so someone can hold the top frame while the other locks in the sides. The real help though is just making it easier to lift out of the bag and having someone hold the poles whilst you're setting up the awning. If you ask me which RV tent I'd recommend, I'd say couples should get an RV3, and if you've got 3 or more, like families with kids, just go straight for the RV5. These tents, the main pros are they're really easy to set up, they're really durable, and they're going to last a long time, and they give you this indoor-outdoor space that a lot of tents don't. It really is premium for those reasons. The main cons are it weighs quite a lot, so you're going to struggle trying to lift it by yourself onto your roof rack, and of course the other main con is the fact that it packs up in that 2-meter long package, so you've got no choice but to put your seats down in your sedan and try to slot it through the middle so it's sitting on the center console, or have a roof rack or a 4-wheel drive, or at least roof bars that you can tie it down to. So that's the main limitation that I see. Who are they best suited for? Well, I think there's three sort of kinds of buyers. There's people that are just normal families and people that go camping occasionally, even if it's just a few times a year. They might really benefit from just the simple setup. So they might be sick of, oh, where does this tent pole go? You know, we'll buy one tent, it'll last the family a really long time, and that'll be that. And so there's those people that just want a pleasant camping experience and get this tent. The other people are the more serious people that go traveling quite regularly or touring and want to set it up and pack it up really often. It's almost a gateway to a camper trailer or a caravan. So you might have people slumming it in tents. Well, this is the step between that and having a camper trailer or a caravan, in my opinion. It's sort of the premium, the step towards not having a tent, even though it's still a tent. And the third group of people that I think it appeals to are people that do have a camper trailer, that do have a caravan, and they occasionally bring people with them. So their aunt and uncle jumps in, they've invited their neighbour and his partner, they just need a bit of extra space. They're already into quality gear. Let's buy this easy, quick setup tent, so for when people tag along with us, we can accommodate. So I think that's the three groups of people. All in all, we're really happy with this tent, and I think to get the most out of what you're getting, definitely get the floor mat that's an extra, and definitely get the Fly for the back. So the Fly helps with temperature, helps with condensation, and helps prolong the life of the tent. Hey guys, we made it back. It's mid-afternoon on Christmas Eve. Beautiful day here in Melbourne. We're doing the post-camping run around, the airing stuff out and hosing the car down to get the salt off it, that stuff. What I wanted to show you was with the Oztent, even if the whole thing's dry when you pack it up, you'll have moisture on the ground and stuff stuck to the bottom that you might want to clean off, and at least it'll be wet. It's really tough because the frame doesn't allow you to easily flip it over, and so you've sort of got to upend the whole thing when it's folded up, or kind of try to upend it when it's like this. But either way, it's really tricky to do because the frame, you can't separate the frame and the canvas. You basically got to sort of work with that whole chunky piece. You'll see what I mean. But it's a limitation that I don't think many people talk about. You know, if it's an expensive tent, you need to air it out and keep it dry in storage, but it's a real pain in the butt to do it. So if you want to dry out the PVC bucket floor on the other side, the side that's touching the ground, that's what you got to do. All right, I think that pretty much sums up what I wanted to say about this tent. It's been excellent for us. It's rugged, it's durable, it looks really cool, and it's easy to set up. It's heavy and a bit of a pain to carry if you don't have a roof rack, but apart from that, I think the pros far outweigh the cons. And on that note, thanks very much. I hope this has been useful. If you've got any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. Please subscribe if you've got something out of this and would like to see more of my videos. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.